Hey, what do you think you're doing? Shut up that damn noise!
Rock and roll, baby. Freedom of speech.
That guy rules.
I can't believe we made it.
We graduated high school. How totally amazing.
I can't help but feel I had some small part in how you turned out.
My name is Alan, and I'll be your waiter this afternoon.
Can we call you Weird Al?
I'd imagine so.
Cut.
My wife was reading Ghost World. She was a big fan of it. She said, oh, you should really read this. This would make a great film.
Terry Zwigoff was the director of the documentary Crumb, which won all the awards that documentaries can win. And after that, he was told by everybody that the one thing you don't want to do is make another film based on a comic book.
And I read it and I liked it. I appreciated it as a comic book. What I also appreciated about it was how great Dan was with dialogue and character. He had created these two memorable characters.
Wow, this is so bad, it's almost good.
This is so bad it's gone past good and back to bad again.
After I first met Terry, that contributed a big amount of why I wanted to do this part, because his sense of humor is so fantastic.
Okay, that's you know, if that's
Enid, I sort of felt very similar dilemma to what she's going through in the film when I was her age. I still feel to some degree she's an outsider. She doesn't quite fit in.
What? What? I have to go to summer school and take some stupid art class. Why? God, I didn't think that just because you get an F, you have to take the whole class over again.
Loser.
She's just graduates high school, and she knows all the things that she really doesn't like and who she doesn't want to be.
You just hate every single guy on the face of the earth.
That's not true. I just hate all these extroverted, pseudo-bohemian losers.
You guys up for some reggae tonight?
The only problem is she really does have no clue about what she does want to do and who she is, really. And she's constantly changing her appearance and trying different motifs and even testing out, in a subtle way, different personalities.
Nice outfit. Who are you supposed to be, Cyndi Lauper?
Part of Enid's dilemma in the film is that she's an artist. She may not know it yet, but she keeps a sketchbook, sort of a crude diary that she keeps, and she's very observant, and she's very sensitive and very smart and funny, and of course it's completely unappreciated by her art teacher, played by Ileana Douglas.
It's supposed to be Don Knotts.
And what was your reason for choosing him as your subject?
I don't know, I just like Don Knotts.
Yeah, I definitely identify with the Enid character. I was probably like that in high school, you know, always wearing thrift shop clothing and not really fitting in with the idea of high school and feeling kind of like an outsider. And then she drifts more towards adults because she's already a little grown up and a little sophisticated.
We have to get together this summer.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
Thora looks uncannily like the character in the comic book. She's a terrific actress, and she has this huge range of emotion that's very subtle.
Thora and I have supposed to, known each other for like 10 years. It was kind of difficult at first to create that from nothing, because I'd never met her before. We sort of hung out in the beginning, and we'd have Thora and Scarlet movie night. How about this one?
Get it? I'm sure it sucks. All these movies suck.
Go out for food and just hang out to get, comfortable with each other. They have strange rituals, I guess you could call them. Rebecca and Enid are always finding some interesting person to follow and exploit and embarrass.
Do you remember me? Airport shuttle, June 7th. You, striking blonde with yellow dress. I was the bookish fellow in the green cardigan who helped you find your contact lens. Am I crazy, or did we have a moment?
Oh, that's so pathetic. I mean, she probably didn't even notice him.
I know, and he's like psychotically obsessing over every little detail.
We should call him and pretend to be the blonde.
Oh, we totally have to. Hi, it's me. You're striking blonde. Of course I remember you. Let's get together for lunch sometime. God, that is obviously him.
I play that guy. His name is Seymour.
Oh my God.
It's him. He's insane. We should follow him home.
Do you have any other old records besides these?
Seymour does.
Who does?
Oh, him. He's the man with the records.
Enid and Seymour's relationship goes through a lot of changes and very swiftly and quickly. And at first, he is just some guy that she is basically having fun with.
I know the guy who owns the original and lent it for use on this reissue.
Wow! She loves making fun of this guy.
Seymour's sort of a eccentric loner.
Oh, what are we in slow motion here? Come on, what are you, hypnotized? Have some more kids, why don't you?
He's a cranky record collector type.
Are all these records?
Yeah, I've got about 1,578 at this point. I've tried to pare down my collection to just the essential.
Enid sees herself a little bit in him. She sees, you know, this guy who doesn't quite fit into the world, but she admires him because he is sort of a strong, distinctive personality, and he believes in his own thing, and he doesn't let society sway him, even though he's sort of profoundly unhappy because of it.
I would kill to have stuff like this.
Please, go ahead and kill me. I think they are similar in that they both feel like outsiders.
I can't relate to 99% of humanity.
Well, I can't relate to humanity either, but I don't think it's completely hopeless.
They sort of amuse each other.
Oh my God, we have to go in here. Come on.
Yeah, sure, very funny.
Come on, please. Becky and I have been dying to go in here, but we can never find any boys to take us.
I could never picture anybody else in this film. Steve Buscemi was the guy, and I always thought of him as somewhat funny looking, and then my wife heard me talking on the phone to him one day, and she said, "That's Steve Buscemi on the phone?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "There's only one guy in Hollywood you have to worry about leaving me alone in a room with. It's Steve Buscemi." She said, "I couldn't care less about Harrison Ford, Brad Pitt, you know, any of those guys." It's like, and I think, you know, well, my wife's a little weird because she's with me anyway, but every woman I've ever talked to has a thing for Steve Buscemi.
In a way, he's such a clueless dork. He's almost kind of cool.
The guy's many things, but he's definitely not cool.
Yeah, well, thanks for cheering me up.
Brad Renfro plays this character Josh, who the girls are sort of obsessed with.
What can you tell me, young man, about the various flavors of frozen yogurt?
I'll be done in a minute. Can you guys just, like, wait outside or something?
He's this guy, sort of a loner, too, in his own way, sort of like a younger version of Seymour, although the clock isn't quite ticking with him.
In addition to our old favorites, chocolate and vanilla, this week we're featuring 6-gun strawberry, wild cherry roundup, and 10-gallon tangerine. Usually when you come on a set late, like I only have 2 weeks on this movie, you know, there's that who the heck's this new guy type, you know what I mean? Feel, whether it's spoken or not, and those girls made me feel right at home.
We'll see you later, Josh.
Rebecca is definitely the one that has the head on her shoulders, and she is sort of heading in the right direction. So when are you gonna get a job?
They're very close, and yet they're kind of growing apart, and they've spent so much time together that it's almost like a marriage. Great.
What? What's wrong with it? It looks totally normal.
What? I said great.
Yeah, I can tell you really love it.
What am I supposed to say?
You know, you hate every single place that we look at.
Everybody at some time in their life has a friend that they're really, really close to, and then all of a sudden something happens and they're not that close to them, and they, you know, you think back on it and you can't really figure out exactly why you split apart. You had, you know, you spent every minute together, and then all of a sudden that's gone, and it's a really painful thing that most people have to go through at some point.
Do you have anything to drink?
Yeah, well, there might be some root beer in there.
What's this?
That's Dana's. I'm supposed to be saving it for our 2-month anniversary. You better not.
It's very funny and very painful at the same time. The whole film's like that, has a strange tone to it. I'm not saying in a self-serving way, oh, it's such a strange, cool film. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I have enough objectivity on it, I know, to know this is going to be a very strange film, because it's very funny and very sad at the same time.
How much for this dress?
God, I can't believe you're selling that.
500.
You're crazy. It should be like $2.
I was wearing that when I lost my virginity.
I wouldn't really call it a teen movie. I don't think you can.
It's not like a bubbly teen comedy. Absolutely not.
There are teenagers in the movie, so that qualifies.
Are you waiting for a bus?
Yes.
I hate to tell you this, but they canceled this bus line 2 years ago. There are no more buses on this street.
You don't know what you're talking about.
What does Ghost World mean? It's a hard question.
It's the wackiest thing in a way.
The world in which these characters live, it could be any town in USA that is slowly changing, being taken over by malls and cappuccino places. And, you know, slowly the town is starting to lose its character. This town is a ghost of what it used to be.
I can't believe these people. They at least turn off their stupid sports game until he's done playing.
It has something to do with the whole decline of Western civilization. How's that? How's that for putting butts in the seat?
There you go, smothered in delicious yellow chemical sludge. Which band is yours?
Alien Autopsy.
Oh, bitchin'.
Hey! Hey! You! How many times I tell you? No chef, no service. Get the hell out of my store. What do you think this is, Club Med?
It's America, dude. Learn the rules.
Loosen up. Feel the music.
I think only stupid people have good relationships.
That's the spirit.